Okay, so thanks to screencast-o-matic.com, I am now going to demonstrate what I have most recently managed to make working on my game here, which I'm very excited about because it is multiplayer functionality, which connects through the database, so it's not local to one instance of the Flash app. So, just to start initially, I'm going to jump to the database. So this is the table that I am currently using to test sending data to and receiving data from using queries. It's just a test table, but it stores a game ID, the turn number that the game is on, the player ID of which player is inputting that row, the op index, which has to do with which position they chose, and the actual X and Y positions, which I'm not actually using, but we will figure that out. So jumping back to the Facebook application, the version I'm using now is published version 4, which I initially put up at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm going to jump to it. And the first thing, unfortunately, I have to do is allow the allow the frame to be scrollable. So I'm just going to fix that using Firebug. And so now you can see I have player 0 has an instance of the SWF right there. And they have their options for the first move all set up. As you mouse over, you can see that they're going to click. Meanwhile, here is player 1, and as you can see, this log I have created in the middle of the track here is showing that it is pulling the database to see if player 0 has made a move yet. So if we go back up to player 0, I'm going to take a move, and then you will see that the player 1 options show up here, but when you mouse over, you can't actually do anything because the mouse events are turned off for this. So then this one also starts polling for player 1's turn to come through the database. So we scroll back down to player 1, which is now waiting to take its turn, so I have the options and I'll just pick one. And then you will see that now player 1 instance is waiting for the player 0 move to happen, and it's gone back to polling. So then we go back up to player 0, we take the next move, we go down, and once again it is updated. And if I could scroll this really fast, you might actually be able to see the update as a result of the poll. Oh, and there it goes. You can see that it just updated after one of the poll calls. And so obviously this is running locally, or running on one page right now, but I used Flash variables, which I set in the HTML that embeds the SWF file twice. So one of them is identified as player 0, so every time it inputs that to the database knows that quote-unquote player 0 is sending in that information. And meanwhile, the second one has identified itself with the flash vars as player 1, so that the database actually, we will jump over to it. If I browse this table, you can now see game 0, here are the positions chosen by first player 1, 0, player 1, and player 0. And that is how it is working right now, so awesome, I'm excited.